Thank you for talking to me. I'm Russ Milheim from the Direct.
Russ, thank you for taking the time.
Of course, I saw Code 8 Part 2 yesterday,
What'd you
so
think?
congratulations.
Thank you. Hope you
Now,
enjoyed it.
I did, I did, I did.
Good on.
The first thing I wanted to say is, your character gets a lot more to do this time around.
Yeah,
What was it like coming from that first film to the second film?
it was exciting and intimidating as well. When I got the call from Jeff Chan, our director, he was like, "Yeah, let's make a movie." And I was all excited, and then he goes, "But here's the thing: Steven has brought a whole nother level of intensity, so you really got to bring it." So right away, the nerves hit, man, and boy, did Steven ever bring it. Wicked to work with all of them.
Netflix took over the story, or they helped to make the second one possible. Did it feel any different when you were working on, compared to the first film with Netflix taking the reins for this one?
Just budget.
Just
Just
budget?
budget. Yeah. Other than that, Robbie, Steven, Chris Pare, Jeff Chan, the entire play fight team, they're such a great community, and they were still at the helm of everything. So yeah, nothing changed but the budget. And it was a lot more fun to play.
I mean, budget's good though. It
Budget's
definitely helps
great.
with a story like this.
Right.
Uh, you kind of touched upon it, but I wanted to also mention it must have been really intimidating to be bad guy number one
Yeah.
uh after that first film. What was it
Yeah.
like stepping into that role and really giving it your all?
I just didn't want to fail the city.
You don't want to get an
No, it
arrow
was
from your co-star.
right. No, it was great. The writing was just really good. So I was able to work off of my instincts on it, and Jeff, being as collaborative as he is, gave me just full creative freedom, and I was able to tackle it, day by day and moment to moment. And Steven and Robbie, obviously great to work with, and Serena was amazing as well. So with everyone's support, I think we just came up with something special and made everyone's job easy.
For you, what were some of the big influences that you tapped into to bring your character to life?
I would listen to Jay-Z's album American Gangster. There's an intro that I just absolutely loved. Um, and then putting all the Lincoln City PD paraphernalia in my trailer was very helpful as well.
Because obviously a lot goes into making a character your own. What were some of your own personal like quirks or touches that you added to him that maybe weren't on the page?
The mustache, the way that was, I really wanted just that classic, very cliche police officer mustache from, I guess, back in the day or back in a day. Um, just really represents something um, that people recognized. Aside from that, it was all Jeff's call and taking his direction.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you actually only really you had a small handful of scenes with Robbie and Stephen Amell.
Mhm.
What was it like working with them on set when you were able to?
Great, great. They deliver. They show up. They know their lines. They're professionals. They've been doing this for much longer than I have, and leading the way for so long. It was just great to learn from them. You know, to be able to watch someone work and see how they do things and get things done. It's just great and a place to learn from.
Part of the script, obviously for the second part is that you have these canine units that are kind of your secret weapon. When you guys were
Yeah.
do on set, what did you use practically? Did you actually have dogs to kind of fill that spot, or was it completely
Okay,
all
so
imagination?
no, we had so there was a practical dog, but it wouldn't move. But as far as the dog moving, there was a person in one of those dotted suits performing the rollovers and whatnot. It was tough to be king and not laugh during those moments. But we got by.
That's interesting to hear that they had someone in a suit for the dogs. I would have figured that maybe you put in a dog and then you just replace the whole dog afterwards.
Yeah, no, no. It was just easier to, have a person take the commands, I guess.
Did you your character has their own personal canine unit. Did you name him?
No, No, I just went with King just being someone who uses things and people. So identity to him is like, I don't care for it. What can you do for me?
For you, what was the hardest scene to film?
Wicked. It's a part where we discover that King has is a telekinesis person. Mainly because having to do that act for so long, and then you're clenching your teeth and everything. It's and there's nothing happening, but you're just flexing, just moving Jello in your hand. That would have been the most difficult scene.
You know, a similar question, and I'm gonna come back to that power question,
Yeah.
that topic, but you know, you just reveal what your hardest scene was. Was that also your favorite, or was there another moment that you were like, no, that's definitely that's my favorite?
First day filming, and it was with Gene Yoon, and it was King coming out of a police vehicle to go up to her character, and it was she spits in my face. So that was a practical situation. And just to get spit in the face by Gene Yoon, that was great.
But it was probably pretty easy to tap into everything you needed as well. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. It really set the tone for the rest of the film. It was just like someone spat on me my first day. I can just go ahead and be that guy now.
now jumping back to those powers, I wanted to ask, you know, what did you have any say in what was revealed for your character? Like, were you able to have any input of like, you know, what if I had this power instead, or was it always the telekinesis?
No, it was always the telekinesis.
Always. If you were out of all revealed powers in this world, which would you personally want? Would you stick with telekinesis, or would we go elsewhere?
No, I like Serena's power in being able to control tech,
Yeah,
especially in today's society. Yeah, let me do that.
I like the. I'm pretty sure they introduced what camouflage at the beginning of this film.
Yeah, that was neat.
But I don't know how useful that ability would be because you saw it like fail for him like
It
multiple
did.
times. Then it
Yeah.
failed as worse as it could, or as badly as it could.
Yeah, but you can make your hand any wallpaper. How great is
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Were there any final like there seems to be a finite amount of abilities that this world has.
Mm.
Were there any abilities discussed just in general while making this movie that maybe didn't make the cut or they thought about including, but
I'm not sure. That would be a conversation that they had prior to me joining. And then the moment I joined, I was just excited about having telekinesis and something
yeah.
unique.
That is, I mean, like if you were to, I think for me, if someone were to ask me what power do you want, telekinesis would be high up there, but I'd like to teleport.
Teleporting is fun, right? Yeah. And flying. I'd like flying.
Yeah, where are the flying people in this world? You think that would be
That's
one of those?
maybe they'll introduce them at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was having this conversation with my son. I'm wondering what would flying even feel like? Like, do you get tired? Like running? Do you know what I mean?
that's true.
Once you
Yeah,
come
is there an endurance check basically?
yeah. Did you
Yeah,
gotta do a lot of
there's got to be like a
CrossFit to get
push.
there?
We got to ask Superman.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that were cut, things that you were involved with, right? You know, a lot of things can get cut when you're filming a movie.
Mhm.
Are there any scenes that you recall didn't make the final cut that you're like, ah, I wish that made it?
I don't know if I'd say I wish that it made it, but there is one scene that we filmed that I'm aware of didn't make the cut. Um, and it wasn't that important anyways. Basically what happens is King during um during one of the times he goes to the building, he meets someone who can summon a lot of light, and just he gets flashed with very blinding lights. And I guess they cut that out. And yeah, it's not something that the audience needs though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask, and you kind of hinted at it before, but have
Yeah.
you heard anything about a part three?
I've not heard anything about a part three. But I will continue bothering Jeff Chan and Chris Parry about a part three and see what happens because it'd be
Yeah.
neat.
What do you think is the next step for King after him being arrested at the end of this movie?
I want something like a prison riot with Garrett. He teams up with Garrett, and then there's some wicked prison riot happens.
Yeah.
I don't care about the rest of the movie. I just give me a prison riot with Stephen Amell. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Now, as an actor, right?
Yeah.
Are there any roles that I mean, obviously there's plenty of roles you'd want, but is there a
Yeah.
dream role that you really want to tackle next? Like a type of role? It can be specific too.
I'd like to be in a war movie.
Okay. Okay. Are we
It's
thinking
just,
any specific era or
I love World War II movies. So maybe, in that realm. And yeah,
are you watching Masters of Air?
I've not seen a single episode. I just finished Oppenheimer,
Okay.
and it was really good. Yeah. That, and finally watched Barbie. That was
Very
fun.
different movies, but yeah.
Very different. Yeah.
But I guess that is the whole thing. That's why they're so popular.
Yeah.
What about like, Marvel and DC are really big these days. Do you have any hopes and desires in those camps?
I do. I
Oh.
do. Um, Venom's all taken up, so I'm like crushed about that. Um, no, I don't know who I'd want to play, but I'd love to tackle a superhero movie because just why not? It seems like the thing to do, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got the DCU starting up soon.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, we'll see where they
gotta,
take it.
yeah. Now, one of my last questions for you. I want to jump back to Code 8. Out of your whole time on the movie, what is one kind of unique experience or new piece of knowledge that you gained that you think is really going to help you going forward in future projects?
I'd have to say, knowing that I can tackle um that sort of depth and range in a character. It was just at that level, with the people that I got to act with. I think that was a wicked confidence booster, that I needed to just
Yeah.
let me keep moving forward. Yeah.
Was there anything that like really surprised you when you started working on this movie that you were like, oh wow?
No, no, other than legit walking on set and being like, wow, this is a much bigger budget.
Yeah.
This is wicked. This is good. We got something to work with here now. Yeah, other than that, no. No, no
Then you look to your
surprises.
right and you see a guy in a mocap suit as a dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I've done some mocap before, so it's one of those, yeah, no, I get it, but it's just funny to watch.
No, yeah, I don't know. Absolutely nothing against the people doing it. But yeah, no, like you said, it is a funny image nonetheless. Uh,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, well, thank you for talking to me about Code 8. I enjoyed
Russ,
it.
thank you. Good,
And
I'm glad.
that part three, it's got to come. They keep setting things up. Part one set up for two, and here it is. So
They did
there were
it.
some teases that something's going on. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure the numbers are going to do well, and Netflix will call Jeff and Chris real quick and build a whole universe about it.
I will cross my fingers for your character to get that prison riot that you wanted.
Thank you. Cross it all.
Wasn't this originally supposed to be a show at one point too?
Yeah, with Quibi, is that what it's called?
I
I
think so.
can't remember.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
but I think this route is much better.
You get to use your budget a little bit more sparsely.
I'd say, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Expand the world some more, man. Yeah.
Yeah.